Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Just the Tip with Sasson. We come to you tonight with a heavy heart. Uh, we lost one of our brothers today. Um, you know, I want to thank you guys for joining us, whoever joins us tonight. We have a special episode. Mr. Tony Vega and his daughter, Aminah, who just signed to the University of Duke to play softball, high caliber softball. And like I said, we come with a heavy heart today. We lost our little bro, um, Julio Lugo. He was a teammate of mine in high school. Uh, you know, late bloomer, we thought, until we realized he was a young man playing with grown men. He was about 14, playing with 17-year-olds and holding his own. And we realized it later that he was just that good. Uh, he never changed. He never switched up on anyone. Anyone got in contact with him, he would somehow try to find a way to reach back and keep in touch. Um, I spoke to him about a month ago, and he, had some fun times talking. He was asking about my family, my little guys, and they played. And I told him my little man's birthday was a few days earlier, and that it was just my middle guy's birthday coming up in November. He said, "So is mine, November 16th, which is tomorrow." So this hurts even more, knowing that tomorrow is his born day, and we love you, Julio. All our brothers. We're here for you. Rudy Circus, his wife. Um, you know, we're here for you guys. So hopefully we can get through, and they can get through these tough times. And we send our condolences to my bro right here. Always real dude. Love you, Julio. Without further ado, oh man, how do I put this down? I'm sorry. How do I put this down? Excuse me, folks. I'm a little out of it today. I'm not technological with this stuff. Um, give me a second, please, to get back to this. All right. Without further ado, I would like to bring in Mr. Tony Vega and his daughter Aminah. How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Sorry, how you doing?
Hanging in there, bro. So Tony, um, you also have a history of Julio. So I know you played ball. You're originally from New York City, and you played ball, and you moved down to Florida. I mean, I'm cutting through certain things, guys. I apologize for that, but I want to get to a certain thing that me and Tony spoke about beforehand. So, Tony, you played ball in New York City, right?
Yes.
And then you went down to Florida to Miami-Dade JUCO.
Right, for a semester, yep.
Right. And then you came back to New York, right?
Um, no, I stayed in Florida and I went to Valencia to finish out the year, which is in Central Florida. It was a JUCO in Central Florida. And then after that, I ended up going back to New York.
Okay. So you left Miami and went to Valencia. Okay. Came back to New York. And you ended up going back down south, right?
Eventually,
took your talents back down south. So you started a family. Is that what brought you back down south?
Yes, sir. Pretty much.
You had your son Antonio, right?
Yep.
Now, Antonio played baseball.
Yep, he did.
Okay. And like all kids, like not all kids, most kids, uh, they fall out of love with baseball, right?
Right.
So how old was Antonio when he started to fall out of love with baseball?
Um, I don't know if he ever fell in love.
Gotcha.
um, I tried to get him in a T-ball, um, kind of didn't like it, wasn't really interested. Like I said, I kind of forced him into um, playing ball, and so it's ironic because it just so happens that the passing of Julio plays a big role in my son's career per se, because yeah, Antonio, he never really was interested in baseball. And me and his mother, his mother would always tell me, hey, he's not you. He's not interested. Maybe he doesn't want to play baseball. And me being my background baseball, me the love for the game, it was hard for me to accept that. But eventually, I was like, oh well, I guess I'm not gonna really push him. And so one day, um, Julio was out here playing. He was with the Red Sox at the time, and they were playing Tampa Bay. So I told Antonio, "Let's go watch this kid that I used to play ball with. Let's go watch him." So of course that day, I wore this jersey, right? I wore this jersey, and Julio actually he signed it for me.
Mhm.
I had it on, and once he saw me, he came running. He came running, and he took my son down stands, took pictures, and he took him down to field level and took pictures. This was while they were having BP just before the game started. We got there early just for that to see if I could talk to him,
Right.
and he did. So anyway, needless to say, make a long story short, that day when we got home is when he decided, hey, Dad, I want to play baseball now, and there it is. He goes to West Virginia University. He plays ball. Comes out of college without no debt. His heart was never really to be a major league baseball player.
Right.
He had other plans. He wanted to be an engineer or whatever, which I respect. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, he was happy that he graduated college without no debt because he sees all his friends with all the debt they have and realized, man, baseball was it helped me out a lot in life. So if it had not been for Julio, I don't know if my son would have had that change of heart.
Right. And that's a you know, we always talk about it. Like I always tell these guys hit me up like, yo, what's up? I want to come on. Listen, this is for you guys, especially the guys that played like, Frankie and Manny or any of those guys that touched that level, you know, a little gesture like what Julio did for Antonio, that changed his life. That said, you know what, I'm gonna go. Like he didn't have to go MLB, but you know what? He got a nice ride to West Virginia, and school paid for whatever, and he made a life out of it. You know what I mean? That I think that's what people have to understand, that paying it forward, goes a long way, man. Goes a long
Right.
way.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now, are you the college level? That's as far as you going? You playing minor leagues, or you just like play
No,
college ball and that's it?
yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yep, that was it. I started
So
my family,
right. So now, Antonio, you got your family. Um, how old is he now?
Antonio's 24. He'll be 25
Okay.
in February. Yeah.
Okay, so you like, all right, I gotta go get a job, right? I gotta
Right.
go take care of this family. Um, so you working now. You have Aminah, right?
Yeah.
So Aminah, I want to get to you. How did you fall in love with softball?
Well, I was introduced at it. Like, I actually was never really like fully introduced at a young age. I kind of just like played all the sports. I did gymnastics, cheer, soccer, basketball. I did t-ball a couple times. Like, I kept going back to it. And then I really liked gymnastics, so I continued that for a really long time. And then when I hit like 10, I started playing again, like rec ball, and I started like really, really enjoying it. And it was just like I kind of just seemed like when every time I would play, it kind of just be like, oh my gosh, Aminah, like Aminah, you're good, like you're really good. And I was like, oh, and then I guess I kind of just like loved the feeling of just like playing and having fun. Like it was just like a different feeling I ever had. And then after rec, I started playing on a travel ball team. And then on that travel ball team, it was just like I was the leadoff batter, playing center field. So it was like I was one of the players. And right then and there, when I was 10, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the sport I want to play for the rest
Right.
of my life. And then my dream just kept growing from there.
All right, cool. To Tony, now, were you hands on with Antonio as far as like, all right, playing wise, right? Are you teaching him the skills,
Oh
and
yeah.
are you doing the same with Amina as far as the
Oh yeah.
softball goes?
Oh yeah. Yep. We have a batting cage in our backyard that I've had it since Antonio was 6 years old. I mean, it's been refurbished a few times,
Right.
but yeah, that's where it all went down. Yeah.
And
Yep.
is it, those are two different games, right? I mean, you're teaching two different swings, probably, right? Or the same swings? How is it?
It's funny because obviously from when we played, the games evolved. I mean, it's became such a science. It's so different now. What I was taught back in the days is totally different from now. But I've learned through the years. So I've learned, I kind of put together what I learned, having some of the best coaches from youth service to my high school coach. I was being, coach of the year. He was, been coaching for 30 years. And then I felt when I went to Florida, I was had one of the best JUCO colleges. So from what I learned through those years, I put together what's my son been taught, or the new way,
Right.
and I kind of put it together. And you know,
Yeah, we're here.
I
Got the Wi-Fi. You good, Tony? You hear me, you guys?
you hear us?
Yeah, you're freezing up.
You
Wow. All right, let me see if I can get their Wi-Fi fixed, guys. I'm sorry about that. Um, they have to check their Wi-Fi. Maybe it's yeah, I see that, Coco. I see that. Yeah, they fixed. They. I think they got it fixed now. Let me see if I can bring them back in. Tony, you guys might have to log off and log back, come back on. Maybe check your Wi-Fi, see if anybody else is around there. With try to get them off the Wi-Fi if you can. All right, let me see. Looks like you guys are back on. Sorry, folks, we have a little technical difficulties right now. You good? You hear me?
You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
So we where were we? You were talking about the swings. We were talking about the swings.
Right.
Your son's swing and how you have to some of the stuff you learn in school, right? From your coaches.
Right.
Is it the same as softball? Like, are you doing the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't think there's that much of a difference. You read online the comparison. I mean, I don't think there's much more of a difference.
Right. And it's Amina, so you love the game, right? You want to work, you want to get better. Obviously, for you to get a scholarship to Duke University, you know, there's not, you got to play a good ball and you're not dumb. You got to be smart to go there. So obviously, academics is something also you thrive in. So where did the work ethic come from? Like, where did you just wanting to be like, oh, I like this feeling where I'm good, like people telling me I'm good, and I'm here.
Yeah, I pretty much was surrounded by it. I went to every single one of my brother's games. I was always around it. My dad played, so me loving the game, it kind of just like that's when my dad was like, "Oh, okay, like I'll help you there too." Like so then he was kind of my coach like growing up. So it was like my love for it continued to grow the better I got. And the better I got and like higher level we went, I continued to do good. That's just when I like was like, okay, this is my goal like as I'm growing up to just be the best. So my work ethic was never went down. It was the same. And I was like, yeah, this is my goal, like to be that best I can in whatever age group I'm in.
And Tony, is it different? Like, are you one way with Antonio and one way with Amina, or is it the same coaching goes to you getting both the same?
It's different with Amina. I mean, as boys, we a little more lazier than the girls. Yeah, I had to do a lot of pushing as opposed to obviously, she had the gift. A lot of it came natural to her. I mean, just it was just easier for her to just take off with it. I mean, Antonio, we worked a little harder. Obviously, as far as like size wise, he's 5'8", as a boy. She's 5'8" as a girl. So, it's kind of like being 6-footed as a man or bigger,
Right.
The arm strength, the speed, all the stuff that you can't you can get better in, but it's more of a gift. She had it. She had 5 tools from the beginning. It's just funny because we put her in softball when she was 7 or 8 years old, and the way she fielded, the way she swung a bat, it was like natural. Like she knew she's been doing it for a while. And what got me the most is when I looked to her mother at the time, and I said, "This girl's got it." Is that they threw a ball? I'll never forget it. They threw a ball to second base, and it beat her there to the bag, and she like avoided the tag by like sliding outside of the bag. And I'm that instinct. I was like, who teaches that at 8 years old? Who does that? And I guess that maybe a part of it has to be because of the her always growing up around the baseball fields with my son traveling all over the country, with brothers and sisters on the team. Maybe that's where she got the knowledge. But yeah, it was just incredible the way she she learned it at such a young age. How much she knew without me putting anything into her, investing any time into her.
Yeah, instincts is something that goes a long way. I always say, like, especially to me, like baseball or softball, a lot of it is won in between here, between the ears and heart. Yeah, you got Altuve who's 5'8", and you got Judge who's 6'7". The sizes is different in that sport, but if you're smart and you play the game the right way, you're gonna win a lot. You know what I mean? So I always find myself watching the girls softball games because to me they play the right way. They do the little things. They move the runners over. They play, where in the men's game it's not. That's lost. So, Tony, you're coaching. Like, if you were going back to men's coaching, how would you coach the men? Like, are you coaching them the way you coach the females, or are you coaching them as this is the way the game is now?
I guess you got to coach it. It depends. I mean, if you want to win, you do all the little details. But as far as like my son going to all these college showcases and colleges watching him, it's not like when we played. They're not looking for the small ball no more. Everything's it's a show. So
Load and lift,
I want
right?
to see the big home runs and the standouts. So if I had to coach it in today's age, yeah, there's not much coaching, right? I mean, you coach them with some mechanical stuff, but when game time, you just let them be and kind of, hey, put on the show if you want to move on, more or less. But girls, yeah, great. Girls, you put a little more into it, the bunts, you strategize a little more as
Right.
opposed to baseball, yeah, for sure.
You got to be on your
definitely have to
toes.
produce some runs, you know what I mean? Because softball could be, when you got two pitchers, it's it's a pitcher's game, so you could easily it's either one swing of the bat or you try to produce that one run.
So, Aminah, what you play travel ball? You said, right? What other is you play for the Puerto Rico team? I think it was
Yes,
right.
the Puerto Rican national team. Yes.
Puerto Rican national team. So how was that experience?
Oh, it was fun. It was definitely like an experience that I would do again, and I'm gonna do again. I leave Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, to go back to Peru, and I'm going to Peru and Colombia to play again with the Puerto Rican national team. But when I first played with them, I was 15, and it was just like I honestly thought like I was still a kid because I was playing with sophomores and freshmen in college, and I was playing against these girls. And then the Japan team, it just seemed like the women were grown women, like they were pitching against me, the grown women. We played all these different types of like countries, and what they would wear was just like they would wear shorts and just like long socks, and it was just like it was interesting. It was weird. The pitching, it was something like I don't see regular travel ball. They pitch different, the way they hold the ball, stuff like that. They're way more aggressive. Like whenever we played China, I was like in the way of the girl at second base, and like I wasn't in her way, but she definitely could have moved around me, and she just pushed me out of the way. And me,
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, like wow, like
How
nobody.
rude!
Nobody would have done that at my age, like in my travel team, because I wasn't in her way. She made it like she went out of her way to push me.
Right.
I was like, this is crazy. Like this is intense. Like these girls are playing to win. Like they want to win really bad for their country. But it was so fun. It was an experience. Just like staying in a hotel with the girls that you never knew, and now you're just meeting and you're staying with them for 3 weeks, and then just like waking up, eating breakfast, practicing, going back to the hotel, waking up, then having a game. It was just like it was a cool experience.
Yeah, you create a special bond, friendship. Like I played high school with Julio. Like I said, it was a friendship that we still had. Certain guys that we might not be in touch as much, but it's always, I'm sure your dad has those experiences also, where it's like, hey, what's up, just, and it's like you never stop talking, right? It's like you picked up where you just, from 20 years ago, but it's like you met him, you was with him yesterday. And so Tony, what else do you see? Like what else are you planning on? Like as far as Aminah, like going to Duke now, what's the next step after that? Like
You're asking me or her?
You, Tony. Sorry, I said.
Well, for me, definitely want to watch, follow her college career, and definitely I like, when it's all said and done, I want to stay involved in the sport. I really have a passion for it. It's fun watching these young girls, succeed, and right as of right now, I'm helping coach with her team, and softball, the whole softball, and baseball too as well. With my son, has put a lot of great people in my life. So yeah, I never played Major League Ball, or I never made the millions of dollars, but the people that have been put in my life through the years with my son and my daughter it's been a blessing. So yeah, I hope to stay in it, and hopefully help these girls get into school is what I'm doing right now. I'm helping these girls try to get into college and stuff. The young girls coming up.
No, it's something that's priceless. Like you said, even paying it forward, right? We talked about paying it forward earlier, teaching them, seeing their improvement, seeing them get, scholarships and go to these colleges. I mean, that's it makes you feel great. Like you said, like I played high school ball with Julio. He grew up in my neighborhood. He made it pro. It's like we all made it, right? We're like, yeah, that's us. You play with him with service, like, yo, that's us. That's Manny. This. So I understand that. Did you have any teammates going with you to Duke, Aminah?
I do. Right now I have 2 that are on my travel team that are going to go with me to Duke. But then last year I had 2 that are already at Duke. So I played with them for a year, and they're already at Duke. So I stay in contact with them for this, like, beginning of their fall. I watched 2 of their games. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to go into Duke knowing my teammates already. Yeah.
That's cool. And you play what? Shortstop, second base? You play up the middle, right?
Yeah, I play middle.
All right, good. Yeah, that's a tough position, especially with the stealing and all that. But I wish you all the best. I want to watch you on ESPN for sure. I want to watch like I said, I always watch the girls' games, and I love the the fundamentals of it. So, I appreciate you guys coming on. Tony, thank you. Anything you want to say before we sign off? Any plugs for the league or anything? Feel free.
Yeah, I mean, with closing statements is, like I said, even at a young age, you serve as my coaches. Like Richie, he reached out to me the other day. We spoke. And I asked him, I said, I don't know if you remember me. He was like, yeah, of course I remember you. DJ, I've spoken to DJ a few times. Even Mel, Mel was never my favorite, because it used to play in my head over and over, Tony Vega, you better run your,
Yeah.
I mean, it was
What are you doing?
always. So, but those guys, if it wasn't for those guys and the structure, they were like hard fathers, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for them, who knows where any of us will be at this time? Because trust me, I've played with guys who were really taking the wrong routes, and I've seen these guys straighten some. Obviously, I was fortunate to have my father around. I remember my father, was bringing out waters and giving it to the guys. I know Mike Rodriguez, our catcher, was one of his favorites. He would always talk about him.
Mike hit me up the other day. He wants to come on. I told him, come on. It's an open invitation.
Oh yeah. He's a good guy. I've ever since I got on Facebook, and I started catching up with these guys. David Caldwell. We played at
Sure.
Canarsie, we played at high school.
DC.
I had a lot of run-ins, even with Nelson Figueroa. So it's good to meet up and link, and we'll see these guys where they're at nowadays. And like I said, man, youth service was the foundation. It got us, and they're still doing it. Based on from what I hear, they're still doing
trying
it.
to bring it back. And
That's
the big bro Rafi Lazada, who plugged me in with you, and my brother Eddie Mata also. It's funny that they both mentioned you and bringing Aminah on. Aminah, before we go, I want to ask you one last thing. Actually, it just came to my mind. What are you studying at Duke?
Well, I don't really know yet, but I'm either leaning towards like psychology, sports psychology, or like the coaching. That's the way I really want to go. I want to be a college coach, so I want to stay around the sport. That's how much I love it, and I want to be known. Like I want to have my own set team that wins rings every season. So.
Nice. Psychology is tough. You're not gonna get a date because they're gonna be like, she's gonna read my mind over here. Yeah, but I took some psychology. I like that. Sociology, psychology. I want to go back for communications actually and try to learn some stuff about what I'm trying to do here. So I thank you guys again. Best of luck. And Tony, we talk soon. You guys can hang out behind the scenes if you want. I'm just gonna sign off. All right.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you. That's Mr. Tony Vega and Aminah, his daughter Aminah. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us. The room was, we have, like I said, we come today with a heavy heart. We lost our brother today, and we send condolences out to his wife and Sulkis and his brother, Rudy Lugo and the Lugo family. Thank you guys again. Please, if you like what you watched today, just subscribe to the channel, Just the Tip with Sasson on YouTube. And Wednesday night, we'll be on the set, 6145. I believe we have my brother Wayne Slater Sr., OG, triple OG. So, again, thank you guys. And if you're in New York, stay warm, man. If you're in Florida, I guess stay cool. Have a good night, guys.